This is the Detroit Sports Podcast Network.
Young Jarek would love to take my order.
Hi.
He works at the coffee shop just up the street.
Morning.
He's happy and annoying with a smirk the size of Texas. He's my coffee enemy.
Would you like a mochaccino? Or perhaps a cappuccino? Or maybe a frappuccino?
Said Jarek wearing the chinos. All I really want is a cup of coffee. So strong the spoon stands up, just a cup of coffee. All I really want is a cup of coffee. Give me a friggin' cup of coffee, Jarek.
Oh, yes. Can I please speak to Ian?
Yeah, this is Ian.
Ian, I just found out it's your 16th birthday. Is that true?
Yes.
Well, this is Dr. Coffee with the J-Man, and guess what we do at 106.3 The Rain? We have a contest for you. If you can answer these 3 questions, you win a trip. Yes, a trip to Cedar Point in October for Hollow Weekend. Are you ready, Ian?
Yeah.
First question, Ian, hepatitis. What's your favorite kind, A, B, C, or D?
A.
Terrible response. All right, Ian, if you were to get gonorrhea, would you rather get it from A, a tractor, B, livestock, or C, a drunk Mexican? Ian, did we lose you? Hi, hello, Coffee Nation, and welcome to episode 11 of the Coffee with Friends podcast. I'm your host, Carl Coffee. With me once again is my loyal sidekick, Tim Anderson. How are you, Tim?
I'm great. How are you, Carl?
Tim, once again here in the CoffeeTimeUSA.org studios. Thanks for coming, Tim. My guest today is the guy we had on episode 0, the pilot episode. He's back. John, the Thrill Hill. How are you?
Hey,
doing?
what's going on? What's going on, guys? I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Second straight guest from Austin, Texas. How about that?
Awesome.
Listen.
We'll have to be setting a trend here.
Last time I talked to you, John, we were a part of 0 networks. Now we're a part of 2. We're part of the Overtime Sports Network. John, you can check them out on otsportsnetwork.com or at Twitter at _OTSN. And the Detroit Sports Podcast Network. Check them out at DetroitSportsPodcast.com or at Twitter at Detroit Podcast. John, what was the highlight of your day?
The highlight of my day, it was not getting run over by the bus this morning.
Interesting. The show's broken up into 4 segments. We have Stump the Expert. We have 8 to 1, Christmas characters. We have a sports topic. And we have our main topic, Standing Outside the Fire, where we're going to be breaking down the most ridiculous music video of all time by Garth Brooks. As you can see, we are getting rid of, we're 86ing, it's gone. The prank call challenge is no longer. The shows are too long. People have 30 to 40 minute commutes. We can't have these shows last 50 minutes, Sim. You understand?
I understand, Carl.
I want to keep them between 30 and 40 minutes. You hear that, John?
Okay, I'll try to keep it between 30 and 40 minutes.
Listen, though, that doesn't mean we're not going to have fun. There's still going to be a prank call in the beginning of the show. So we might still do pranks to add on to the beginning of the show, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, John, do you remember 2004 when I got a job as a camp counselor?
Oh, yes.
And I said, I need a friend. I asked all my friends, so finally I convinced you to come. This was a camp in the middle of nowhere in Michigan, about 3 hours from Detroit. So you decided to go. I was pumped to go. You were like, all right, fine, I'll tag along. It's money. It's easy. So
yeah.
We get there, you get stuck with the little kids, 1st through 3rd graders. I'm like, he's going to hate it. I had 4th through 6th graders. A couple weeks in, I get called into my supervisor's, office. Carl, you brought Snickers into the camp, and you're handing them out. And there's a couple kids at the camp who are, deathly allergic to peanuts. We told you not to bring any nuts into the camp. We told everyone, no nuts, nut-free camp this summer. All right, strike one.
Strike one.
A few weeks later, I say, hey, kids, It's the last night here. Let's have a pillow fight with the cabin next door. Let's cream them. One of the kids had his flashlight in the pillow, knocked the kid right in the temple, sent to ER. Strike 2.
Strike 2.
And John, there's a strike 3 I never told you about because it was embarrassing. And after all these years, 14 and a half years, I'm willing to tell you why I was not invited back. And John, how many summers did you spend at Spring Hill? Because it was more than one.
Oh, I was there 4 years, 4 summers.
All right, so I had to convince you to go, and you spent 4 years there. So
yeah,
you're welcome.
It was like the roles were reversed at the end of the first summer.
All right, so the camps were broken up into 3 parts. We had 1st through 3rd graders, 4th through 6th, and then 7th through 9th. And my section was called Copper Country, which is what people call the UP.
I did not know that.
Copper Country.
Wow.
Copper Country, that's 2 C's, right? Camp Counselor, that's 2 C's, right? My initials, what, are 2 C's. So I said, all right, kids, let's have some fun. You know, I'm Camp Counselor Carl Coffey from Copper Country. You can call me 6C. John, say that real fast, 6C.
6. Oh, I see where you're going there. 6C.
I get called into my supervisor's office. I thought of this later in the summer, like week 10 of 12 or something. And Carl, I heard you're telling the kids to call you sexy. Is this true? You have to know that's wrong. You have to know not to tell 12-year-old boys. Having them call you sexy, I mean, come on, man. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've never said that. And then they're like, we've heard from many people, you're telling the kids to call you sexy. I mean, you brought peanuts into the camp, almost killed people. Some kid got hit in the temple by a flashlight, almost killed him. And now, you really want to be a sex offender, Carl? I said, no. What are you talking about? So then I thought, 6C. And then I explained to him, and he's just like, why? Why would you have him call? Why can't they just call you Carl? Why can't you be normal?
Why can't you be normal?
They're like, all right.
Can you be normal?
We got one more week. Just finish off this summer. You know, you had exit interviews every summer, right? We did.
Yeah, we had exit interviews too.
So I was just like, all right, next year, just enjoy your summer. Please don't apply here. So that was my strike 3 that I was always embarrassed to tell you about.
And that's why you never went back.
I always told you about strikes 1 and 2. I think you heard about those.
Yeah, I remember the Snickers thing. I remember you telling me about the Snickers, and then the pillow fight. I do not remember. I don't think you've ever told me that's hilarious.
All right, so the song of the week this week is from the Verve Pipe, the freshman John Hill. When you think about this song, what do you think of?
I think of freshman year of high school because I think that's when this song came out.
Yeah, it came out when we were like freshmen in high school. That's a song.
So, yeah.
It just brings back fuzzy memories. What about you, Tim? Anything?
Well, Carl, it makes me think about the Me Too movement and how, she was touching her face, so he was blaming her all along.
Reverse Me Too?
Yes.
He was blaming her.
Yes.
All right, John, we have an interesting Stump the Expert. It's NASA, which is very broad.
Is this question out of this universe, Carl?
Listen, pretty much. When I ask people, all right, what is something you're an expert in? I hope they get very specific. They could be as specific as like one sports game. Like, all right, John Hill could have said game 163 of the 2009 baseball season with the Tigers.
Okay, don't talk about that. That's a
Bruce
story.
Porcello was great.
He says NASA, which has been around over 50 years. Like, I have a million things to do. So, John, here we go. There was a flyby robotic mission in 1977 to the planet Neptune. What was the name of the spacecraft that made that mission?
Was it Pioneer 10?
Voyager 2, Stump City, Stump
Voyager.
City. All right.
That's Interstellar, Carl.
All right, thanks, Tim. And, John, next time, be more,
More specific?
more specific.
Okay.
All right, we talked about it a little bit. Let's knock out a few of these. Christmas characters. Our Christmas episode will be next week, Tim. It's going to be 100% Christmas, but it's December, and we're going to still talk about it for this episode for the 8 to 1. It's Christmas characters, John Hill. 8 of them. John, what was that first 8 to 1 we did for episode 0?
Oh.
What was that? Do you even remember? Was it holidays?
I really don't know.
I don't know either.
I can't remember.
So Christmas characters, John Hill, and there's now 2 vetoes. Me and Tim both have one, but we can't use it in the finals. You understand how this works?
Yes.
And you can break down why the person wins. Just, don't make it too long, maybe 15, 20 seconds. Our first matchup's a big one. Santa Claus, Kris Kringle, Saint Nick, the Great Bambino, versus Kevin McAllister. Who do you got and why?
I'll go with Santa because, hey, he's Santa. Brings Christmas presents around the world. He goes every kid's house in one night. He's got 8 reindeer. Kevin McAllister, he was accidentally left by himself and managed to create a PG-rated Saw death house for 2 small, lowly criminals.
You gonna use your veto, Tim?
It's very tempting, Carl. It really is. I mean, Kevin McAllister teaches all that we could fight against the oppressor.
There's no way to hide it. This is my 1 versus 8 matchup, and I will never have the 1 seed get vetoed. Santa Claus moves on. Our next matchup, John, the Grinch versus Jack Skellington. You know what? I talked to someone who had the nerve to tell me The Nightmare Before Christmas was a Halloween movie. I slapped him.
You should have.
Yeah.
You want to hear something even more frightening, Carl?
What's that, John Hill?
I have never seen The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Can you believe that? It's like last week when some idiot said they never saw Frozen. Wait, that was me.
No regrets.
Anyway, so this was probably an easy one. You got the Grinch moving on, no?
Yeah, I'll take the Grinch because he starts out as the villain and ends the movie as the hero.
Can you believe that?
Absolutely.
Veto?
Going Grinch.
Let's keep it going. I want to knock out this whole first round, actually. Rudolph versus Frosty. This is called the classic first round matchup. 2 old-fashioned Christmas characters. I think they were even in a movie together. One of them had a red nose. The other one smoked a pipe for a long time. Who do you got?
I'm going Rudolph. Rudolph, as he was bullied to oblivion and everything, made fun of because he looked different, and then finally has a job to do. Just Christmas Eve just happened to be foggy. Santa couldn't see. Frosty the Snowman, what has he done? It's like, what's in that pipe? I want to know.
Yeah, he seems like a child molester.
Shoot us, Carl.
No veto for me.
Nope. Chris Hansen would not veto that either.
So far, John Hill, you've been right on. The higher seeds have moved on. Our last first round matchup is Buddy the Elf versus Ebenezer Scrooge. Good versus evil. Who do you got and why?
It's no contest for me. It's going to be Buddy the Elf. It's whenever you see him, you just can't be happy. You just can't not be happy for him because he's just excited about Christmas. Even if it's not Christmas, he's excited about it. He's excited about everything because he's never been to New York. Ebenezer Scrooge, even though he starts off as the villain, as the bad guy, bah humbug and all that, and he ends it. It's like just because you change and do one nice thing doesn't mean that you're forgiven for everything in the past that you've done. So I'm going Buddy the Elf all the way.
No veto for me. You?
Carl, this is the quintessential good versus evil. And I've got to say that Buddy the Elf, if I could get some of his dopamine, I'd be so happy all the time.
Yeah, what's your favorite color? Buddy the Elf moves on. All the high seeds move on. No vetoes used. John Hill, I have never seen a cleaner first round in the history of 8-1. Have you, Tim?
I have not, Carl.
Oh my goodness gracious. Santa Claus, Grinch, Rudolph, Buddy the Elf. I'll move on to the sun lines. We'll get to that later. Tim, do you know this is a sports podcast?
It is?
Yes. We're on iTunes, we're on Podomatic, and we're in the sports category. But sometimes you wouldn't know it.
I get that feeling, Carl.
So we have to have a sports topic, right?
Yeah.
So I have 2 questions for you guys. It's about Bryce Harper. We live in Bryce Harper land right now, Tim.
I know, Carl. It's killing me.
None of us really care about the Nationals, but
I care about him.
I live a mile away from the single A stadium for the Potomac Nationals. He's played there a few times on rehab assignments. Pretty cool. Anyways, I think he's going to get 400. I think it's going to be the White Sox. So those are my 2 answers. So, John, or Tim? Who wants to go first? I'll go with Tim. Tim, is he potentially worth $400 million?
I think his brand alone is worth $400 million. I think he's going to come something closer to $350 and end up in LA, though.
Okay, so the Nationals offered $300, and then it's gone now. They don't care. They paid their money to that pitcher dude.
Corbin.
I say White Sox. Where do you think he goes?
I think he's going to go to the Dodgers. I'd prefer him to go to Philly, but he'll probably end up going to the Dodgers.
Dodgers. John, do you have anything to say about this down in Texas land?
Well, before today, I was really thinking that he was going to go to the Phillies, but then I found out that Philadelphia signed Andrew McCutchen from the Giants today for 3 years.
He added an R. Is that a joke?
No, he actually signed with the Phillies today for 3 years.
I know you added an R. You said McCutchen. Are you trying to be funny?
Oh, did I? McCutchen. Sorry, McCutchen.
Heropres, yes.
See, that would have been funny if he said McCutchen because he's old.
Yeah.
But
he's
now
old,
it's all messed up. He just didn't know his name. Now it's not funny.
I mean, I seriously think that him and Machado will switch places. Like Machado will go to the Nationals, and Harper will go to LA.
Okay.
It's but for $400 million, I don't see that happen. It's I just want to say around maybe $300, $350.
No, White Sox are gonna overpay for him.
No, it's going to be another A-Rod situation.
Exactly. You have to overpay to go to the south side of Chicago. I mean, come on, you have to get. Paid
why would he go to the Sox? He could go to LA. I mean, he grew up in Las Vegas. He's LA was close to home and everything.
No, I hope you're right. I don't want him in the AL Central or the AL Comedy Central, as you used to call it.
Dream scenario, he'd go to the Astros, but that's a dream scenario.
Yeah, a wet dream.
Yeah.
John Hill's talking out of his anus. Anyways, so that's our sports topic for the sports podcast. All right, so guys, I moved back to Michigan in 2009, and John Hill was there waiting for me. And after a night of maybe beer pong or darts,
that's what they call it now,
or watching the Red Wings losing the Stanley Cup, he's like, Carl, have you ever seen the music video Standing Outside the Fire from Garth Brooks? I said, no, I don't like Garth Brooks. So then we watched it. And forever, I've been connected to this music video. And I've been connected to John Hill. And we were talking. We should have an episode where we just break down this video. A couple disclaimers. The main subject in this video, Tim, he has Down syndrome. There's no way this video is making fun of the fact that he has Down syndrome. In fact, he is the most normal thing about this video. I'm just telling you, I have a soft spot for people with Down syndrome. So, that's the main subject of the story. And John, that is the least weird thing about this video, correct?
Oh, absolutely. That's the most normal thing about the music video.
But anyways, let's dive in. And there's just so much. You sent me your notes, John Hill, and I had to cut out 10 things because...
Yeah.
So I left the good things in there. And the video starts out normal. It's the mom and the kid driving to school. And she stops the car. And she throws him the keys. And people, I recommend you watching this video as we're talking if you can, or watch before or after, and you'll know what we're talking about. And what does she do with the keys, John?
She just she goes around the car and just throws the keys up in the air.
Throws the
yeah.
A lot of faith there. It's a risky move,
yeah.
Right? And I have to ask you, John, the kid has a lot of trust. Too much trust, probably, right?
Yeah, it's he doesn't they cut to the next shot and it's just him standing there and the keys just magically drop into his hands. He doesn't move his arms or move his hands. They just fall right there. If someone was holding it above the camera and just dropped them into his hands.
Yeah. Obvious that she pitches in a slow pitch softball league, right?
Yeah. That would be a called strike 3 right there.
All right. And in the same kind of scene, let's just stop in the middle of the road. Here you go.
Pretty sure there's traffic that can pass by them and everything.
I don't know where this neighborhood is. Maybe they knew no one's coming, but it just seems kind of careless to park in the middle of the street, right, Tim?
Yeah,
it's idiotic.
What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
All right, Tim's not going to be a part of this segment.
You told me I wasn't before.
Stop. All right, so John, there's a judgment thing. We're gonna those two scenes. We kind of broke it down. Do you think this kid has a permit? I mean, I don't know. It seems like they're being kind of risky here.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I think either he's getting ready to start driver's ed or he's in the middle of taking driver's ed, because in the next scene, like, you can clearly see he is driving the car to school and everything. And it's just that he's kind of like riding the brake. Obviously he knows the basics on how to drive, but like riding the brake and like stopping and starting and stopping and starting again is like something like even a 15 or 16-year-old would know don't do that.
Yeah, and it's clear that he stops the car, right?
But he doesn't put it in park.
Yeah, but the car is stopped. Look, it's not moving. It's not moving, Tim. We're looking at it right now. The mom's waving goodbye in a stopped car. If you stop a car and don't put it in park, it's going to move forward, right, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it's in neutral, like, it's still going to slowly move forward. I mean, unless you were on a flat surface, which it looked like the road was a little bit flat. Yeah. But still, your car would still be moving even if it's in neutral or drive. So
yeah, and in a video littered with chaos. I mean, why not have the car move forward, crashing into the students? Because there's students walking everywhere in all these different directions. Oh, and there it goes. But the mom just moves and stops it, and they move along with their day. But listen, I don't get it. Next time you go somewhere, use your brakes forcefully, but don't put it in park. And guess what's going to happen, Tim?
What's going to happen, Carl?
Your car is going to keep moving.
What?
Not stop enough so someone to get out.
Maybe it was a stick, and that's why it was bucking.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, Tim is the man of reason here. Can you believe this?
Maybe, yeah. It's like, I don't think we can get a clear indication of whether or not the car is a stick shift or not, but the logic there is sound.
I'm handy capable, and I'm sure I had moments like that as well.
All right, moving on, to the 49-second mark. He's in class, no big deal. But why aren't the lights on in the classroom, John Hill?
I don't know. I mean, they have the blinds open there, so at least you get some of that natural light coming in.
Maybe everything again. Setting the mood.
Kid walks out of class. Doesn't look like there's lights on in the hallway either.
So I'm guessing the school forgot to pay their power bill this month.
Maybe. Okay.
Do you think the heat's on?
He goes right to the track and field sign up. Cool. And why is his mom in the school? It's not super unbelievable, but it just seems strange to me. Is she that much of a smother where she has to always check up on him?
I don't see cupcakes, Carl. I do not see cupcakes.
Sorry, go on, John.
It's like when I see the video, it's like maybe it's either lunchtime, she's coming to have lunch with him, or maybe it's after school and she's coming to pick him up, and she's been waiting outside for 20 minutes wondering where he's at, so she comes into the school and sees him at the track sign-up board.
All right, and my question to you is the track coach just hovering around the sign-up, making sure only athletic kids are signing up for track? I mean, doesn't he have better things to do, or is this a convenient thing? Oh, he just happens to be there.
Is it convenient that his mom just happens to be there too?
The mom and the coach were both there. Oh, you know what Tim's implying? That the mom and the track coach have a thing going.
They're engaged in the coitus.
This is breaking news. This wasn't on the show sheet. Interesting angle from Tim.
Interesting.
I'm not going to go with it, but maybe that's why the dad's pissed off, because he knows.
Maybe that's why the dad is pissed off. That
you guys like raking? I know I
wife is having an affair. Yeah,
you're having an affair with that blonde coach who looks like Roger Dorn from Major League. Okay,
that's the moneymaker.
Anyways, everyone knows what happens. He goes to sign up for track. The coach wants him to sign up for Special Olympics, which is a weird thing to have in a high school. A Special Olympics sign-up sheet, but cool, whatever.
They can't afford to turn their lights on, Carl.
But good for the kid. He signs.
They can't afford to turn the lights on, but they have enough money to have 2 track teams.
And why is she wearing her coat?
Yeah.
Is the heat not on?
So, okay.
No, then maybe the electricity, nothing's on. So
we're going to break into the house also. The lights aren't on in the house. We see the dad for the first time, and he's pissed. He has his hands on his wife. He's probably saying, "You're going to let our son run track and field?" When obviously he's on the football team. He's wearing the jersey, though, most of the first few scenes, So, you could say, oh, maybe he was a manager or a water boy, but maybe he was a middle linebacker. We don't know. He has a football jersey on. John, what do you think?
I mean, I really don't. I mean, it could be the high school jersey. It could be a jersey that was gifted to him as a present. I mean, we're really not sure because we don't see any scenes of like any other people wearing football jerseys.
No, you're right. And his first name's on the jersey. I mean, if you have your first name on the jersey, you're probably not a roster player, right, Tim?
We're talking like maybe like little league, like where there's 16 Jimmies.
So
I mean, and plus, if you're on a high school football team, one, you're not going to have your name on the jersey. Two, when the season's over, you're probably going to have to give that jersey back because it belongs to the school.
True. So after that scene where Brandon was behind the wall, seeing his parents argue, we see Brandon, officially sign his name on the track and field sign-up sheet, and then we go to his training. Just like Rocky, he is running in the street with his mom next to him. And I think it's kind of careless, John. His mom's pretty close to him, driving in the middle of the road. Oncoming traffic would have smashed them both, right?
I mean, isn't there like a sidewalk like 3 feet to the right or left of him?
I just saw a sidewalk. I'm watching it right now.
Yeah, can they not use that sidewalk that is meant for people to run on? It's like, why is he running in the street?
And why is she forcibly throwing a towel at him? It looks like it's kind of cold out. He's not sweating at all.
I think she wants to literally throw in the towel. She wants him to give up too.
Yeah, the towel
secretly.
Is white. Yeah,
it's secretly.
He didn't accept the water. He doesn't need a towel. I think she's subliminally saying to him, take this white towel and just stop.
Does she even offer him like water, or is it just a towel? I can't
It starts
remember.
with water. He says no to the water, then to the towel. He throws the towel back in, and then we see the dad raking leaves in a yard that doesn't have many leaves. So maybe he already raked and bagged them. But look how he's holding that rake, Tim.
Is he raking the grass?
I don't know. But do you see a sidewalk? It looks like there's a sidewalk right there.
There
is a sidewalk. Yeah, it's official.
He's standing on it.
He's standing in the. He's raking the sidewalk.
He's raking the sidewalk.
But he's angrily raking. And my first question to you, John,
how do you angrily rake
like that?
I mean,
guy.
it's like you have to get so angry that you're like,
but why
please
is this,
leave some.
You've never been in the army, obviously.
Well, why is this kid running past his house? I mean, did he just do a full lap around his house? And why didn't he even acknowledge his dad? Like, is it a small, like, little circle around his house?
I just realized one thing. It's like if he's on the track team, isn't there a track at the high school that he can go train at? Why does he have to like run the block with his mom driving in a car?
So he's not in the sidewalk. He's not in the track. So he's like, what's the worst option here? Let's just run in the street. But it just amazes me that he just runs past his dad like it's nothing. There's my house. Yeah. No one.
There's Dad. He's angrily raking the leaves again.
There's my asshole dad.
But we could say all the things about the dad. And we could say all these bad things. You know what, though? We can't say he doesn't care about his yard.
He really likes a well-manicured
lawn. Look at that
lawn.
raking, Tim. Look at that. Ooh.
That is terrible form.
And what did you say, John? We were talking. You had it. I took it out about a Canadian tuxedo. Explain that.
Oh, he's wearing denim jeans. Mm-hmm. He is wearing a denim jacket, and he's wearing a denim shirt, I believe. It's like, and that is coincidentally called a Canadian tuxedo, where
it's the quintessential clothing of Canadians.
So we're at yes, we're at the 145 mark, and we're at track practice. And we go to a guy wearing very baggy shorts and shoes that are obviously not track shoes, attempting a high jump, which probably was about 2.5 feet in the air. Just jumps right into the bar. Terrible. And John, your notes were horrible high jump. Why not do a second take? Why not find an extra who can jump at least 2.5 feet in the air?
Yeah, it's like on the casting call, did they be like someone who can try to high jump? It's like, can they just go like, we need someone on a high school track team who does a high jump, or at least, hey, can we film a scene where you're not knocking down the bar?
Yeah, this track here.
Have you guys ever done that before? It's incredibly difficult.
Yeah, but still, you're doing a music video, putting that out. Is there anyone who can do a 3-foot high jump? This track team is hopeless, John. We got people in sweatpants. People can't jump. Yeah. So
I mean, it's like there's people. It's like the people like collapsing on the ground because they're dehydrated or something, and then the kid just keeps running like he's obviously way better than anybody on the track team.
At the 150 mark, every single runner is running to the bench to have water. Like, all right, guys, good team. And I can see in the stands, there's a lot of people in the stands to watch high school track practice, which probably is the most boring thing to watch, right, John Hill?
Oh yeah, I remember regular high school track practices or high school track meets, and there's hardly anybody in the stands. But I was like, why would anybody show up for track practice who's either not an athlete or isn't like a friend or like just someone trying to kill time while they're waiting for their parents to pick them up?
Yeah, I didn't do track. I did baseball and tennis, and I don't think I ever saw a parent watching track practice. One, because it's boring, and two, because most of the parents are still at work.
This was a great time to meet girls, Carl.
Track practice would be around 2:30, 3 o'clock. So this dad is obviously unemployed. In his spare time, he's raking, yelling at his wife, and watching his son run around a track.
I'd be angry too, Carl.
All right, so that's about halfway through the video. We're going to go back to the 8-1 semifinals, and Tim and I both have our vetoes, John Hill. So this is going to get exciting.
Okay.
Santa Claus versus the Grinch. Who do you got moving on to the finals, and why?
I mean, you said that Santa's the number one seed, so I mean, I gotta give it. I mean, he brings joy to everybody, and he only has to work one night a year. And obviously, the Grinch has to work a lot longer because he has to get all the necessary tools and everything to make the Who's Christmas Eve a living torture and everything. He has to go steal all the stuff and everything, and it's like his one goal in life is to make the Who's lives miserable for no apparent reason outside of the fact that he hates Christmas. And it's like Santa just brings totally opposite end of the spectrum, brings joy to everything, brings happiness, and that's why I'm going with Santa to move on.
No veto for me. Tim?
The origin story of the Grinch from the newer version shows that he was like just crapped on constantly by the Who's. That said, I will go with Santa Claus because it's a number one seed and I can't unthrone number one seed.
We have never not had a veto. One last matchup where a veto is allowed. Rudolph versus Buddy the Elf. The 2 versus 3 seed. John, who do you got?
Oh man, this is tough. I mean, I'm going to have to go with Buddy the Elf here. It's like, again, Buddy is just very happy. He's very happy about everything. He's very happy about what your favorite color is. He likes to see that Tyrion Lannister is a very angry elf. He likes to put syrup on spaghetti, so good for him. And he's trying to regain a relationship with a dad that he's never met, and he's trying to put an honest effort into reacquainting himself with his father. And Rudolph is good for one thing and one thing only, and it's because that he has a birth defect in his shiny nose. It's like if that wasn't a foggy night and Santa was able to see just fine, he wouldn't ask for Rudolph for any help. If it was just a normal Christmas night and not overcast, it's like Rudolph would still be in the stables somewhere.
Boom. That's John Hill. Trenton class of 2001, the same class as New Jersey Devils captain Andy Green. Can you believe that, Tim?
I cannot. Big Andy Green fan.
Huge. He was huge. Man, he was good. He was good.
He still is.
You know how good he was in high school?
He's still good. He's captain of the team too.
Wasn't he like Mr. Michigan in 10th grade?
He was.
He was Mr. Hockey. Yeah.
He was playing like semi-pro hockey as a senior. He's like, I'm sick of high school hockey. It's too easy.
Can we talk about Buddy the Elf's snowball throwing form?
No.
It was elite. He has huge measurables.
Elite.
All right.
Yes.
It is good, but listen, we have to move on. But this is the first time ever where John never picked a lower seed, so I will never veto these if he's picking the higher seed. So he picked 1, 4, 2, 3, and now 1, 2. John, it's like we know each other. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So we're 2 minutes into the video. Anything you want to say before we move along? That something I missed? Anything, Tim, John?
I mean, we pretty much covered most of the stuff that's pretty obvious.
We pretty much covered every second. All right, so let's go to the second half. And this is the first time where we see fire. The video is called "Standing Outside the Fire." This is
the first time we see Garth too. Yeah.
When you showed me this video, this is when I first lost it. This is when I first said, "All right, John is right." All right, for the first 2 minutes when I first watched it, I'm like, whatever. Classic video. This is nothing out of the ordinary. But then the school's on fire. And Garth and his band, they're just playing along. And he's committing arson, right, John?
I mean, clearly, it's like the school is on fire. Like he is, even though the song is standing outside the fire, Garth is clearly not standing out. He's standing in front of the fire. But still, it's like I'm hopefully that they burn down the sets at the end of the shoot, because what if they had to do like reshoots? Oh, sorry, Garth. We kind of burned down the sets. We can't do any reshoots to the music. That's probably why they couldn't do a second take of that high jump, because they burned down all the sets.
It's a good thing he's not a rapper, Carl.
You know what? I'm going to go a different angle. Calling this arson is a classic overreaction, because Marshall High School seems to be very messed up. There's no... They don't have their priorities straight.
They're on track against Marshall High School.
Actually, you know what? Maybe Garth didn't burn out. Maybe it was the track coach, because he wanted to hide the fact that he's having an affair with the kid's mom.
There's a lot going on with this
secret
school.
Child.
They don't have They obviously don't have electricity at the school.
So there's not a part that maybe the reason why they don't have electricity, because he was using it to try to start a fire.
There's a huge emphasis on track and field for some reason. All right, so that's the first arson, and we'll talk about some more arson later. Spoiler alert. So moving along to the 2:15 mark, we see a crowded fan section. And when I mean crowded, I mean standing room only. Every single seat is filled.
For a track meet.
It's like they're at the horse races, Carl.
And, people have...
There was a pennant. Yeah, I saw a pennant.
People have pennants. Like I said, I've never been to a track meet. I'm sorry. Never. My brother ran track, but it just seemed boring as hell.
You met a lot of girls.
I don't think people fill the stands like that at track meet. But,
no.
John, this is a state track meet, which we'll talk about later. So maybe states is big, but all right. We go through and we see the kid running track. He's on the outside lane. Angle. And then we see the dad, who is pretty much on the track, just a little bit off the out-of-bounds area. How is he there? That can't be allowed. You can't have parents just hanging out on the track, right?
Yes, I don't see him. It's like I think he's like behind a fence or something.
Yeah.
But he's still like in an area where it's like, did he not find a seat in the stands or something? It was that packed and everything, but there just so happened to be 2 empty seats for the mom and her pregnant friend.
Yeah, what's with the pregnant friend? We see her for the first time. Who is she?
Another seat.
Who is she?
Why is she introduced now? Is there a backstory? Is this I don't know.
Is it a neighbor? Is it a
It's obvious the mom's having an affair with the track coach. But who's
established?
Who's this?
The pregnant lady is the track coach's wife. That's why.
Maybe,
yeah.
Okay, can we talk about how the dad looks like a child predator?
Oh, yeah.
He looks like somebody who's talking to your 12-year-old daughter on AOL.
Let's go to a track meet with khakis, a long-sleeve dress shirt. Why not?
I'm not going to meet Chris Hansen here.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate. He's out there because the stands are full. There was nowhere to sit. He's like, all right, I'll just go out here and creepily stand behind my son.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to relive his glory days.
Let's move along, Tim. Let's see what happens. Oh, here we go. We got a referee, and he's decked out in football gear. He's got the... these people who had this video, what do we give the track referee? All right, go to a prop store and get him a football jersey and a football hat. There's an American flag on top of the tower. He has a gun, which I heard... John actually told me that's common for track meets, so we're not going to make fun of that. But... a tower booth for high school track, that can't be normal, right, John?
No.
Usually there's in the press box.
Yeah, it's either a press box or it's they're standing right on right next to the track.
Yeah. a little excessive.
No tower booth. It's not a lifeguard stand. You're not gonna, because you got to climb up every time to start a race and everything. I was like, no, it's like just stand on the side of the track and there you go.
So we stop at the 232 mark and we see statewide track and field meet, and it looks like a horribly made banner, and it looks like it's 100% females in the stands, right, Tim?
Great place to meet girls, Carl.
I don't see it. It's very blurry. I don't have the best version, but it looks like it's a bunch of women in the stands.
Carl, it's called a Knish Fest.
So here we go, and this is something that really stands out. Okay, state meet track. Okay, this is presumably his first run, right?
We've been led to believe this.
So has he been practicing the whole season? Has been put on the sidelines for all the meets, for districts, for regionals, and the team qualifies for states, and then they run him? Is that what happened?
How's he getting qualified, Carl?
Is that what happened, John?
Yeah, maybe he's a secret weapon, but yeah, it's like the fact that he's been sitting. There's been no footage of him actually running like a qualifying race to even qualify for states.
Yeah, you don't. You don't run states without qualifying. You can't just say, "All right, now we're going to run you."
Yeah, it's the equivalent of Bryce Harper sitting out the entire regular season and be like, "Okay, you're in for the playoffs." It's like no.
That was Le'Veon Bell.
So then,
yeah.
So you kind of go into the stands and you see Garth there in the stands. So I guess it wasn't all females. And then at the 236 mark, you see the guy running, and it's an obvious stunt double, and we'll get to that later. But I mean, but he runs, he takes a spill, he trips over his own feet, Cool Running style, and the parents act like he was sniped, like he was like JFK, like, yeah, really.
I was running real fast.
And John, I have to say, man, like the mom, I mean, she carelessly throws keys at him, carelessly lets him drive, and now she cares. She cares. He takes a simple flaw. No, he was running by himself. He's not gonna. Yeah. I mean, what?
I mean,
he fell running.
He's clearly okay. Like, he's not dead or anything. He fell.
And now he's got a cool story to tell the ladies.
Yeah. It's like he's going to get the sympathy from everybody in the crowd. So why is she screaming? And it's like, and then why is the dad so upset when he was the one that was like, this is what I've been saying the entire time. He's going to fall and embarrass himself, and now he's the one screaming, no.
And couldn't they get a stunt double who had the same color hair as him? The stunt double's hair is like almost black, John.
And he's obviously at least maybe a foot taller. I mean, I can't really quite tell, but he's clearly a lot taller than the
stunt runner. Stunt runner.
Yeah, he's a stunt runner.
So I go to the 240 mark and I see the mom stands up with hands over her mouth, and it kind of shows that the fans were not there for that team. The fans were not there for Marshall because every other fan is still cheering their ass off.
It looks like someone just proposed to her and she's going to say yes.
Everyone else is pumped as hell.
Yeah. He fell, yeah!
Oh no!
No one else is watching this guy. Only the mom cares that he fell.
He's like, did you see that guy fall down?
See, everyone else is just, their eyes are the other way. And the mom's like, okay, this sucks. He falls.
Lands on his shoulder, Carl.
His shoulder.
Yeah, lands on his shoulder and his back.
So, and then we see the dad behind his fence. Was he behind the fence when he was hanging out?
How did he get behind the fence?
I thought he was on the track.
Because it just started.
Why did he move behind a fence? Did he move? He made it more difficult to get to his son.
Maybe an official moved him behind the fence.
Yeah, because he was too creepy.
So the mom maneuvers to the track like the dad. They're running to the track. The son's down like he was shot like JFK. And then they see his face, and it's bloody, John. But we saw the fall. He landed on his shoulder.
On his shoulder and everything, but yet somehow he broke his nose.
So maybe he bloodied up his shoulder and then he wiped his face on his shoulder, Tim?
I don't think so, Carl. I don't think those are bloody boogers.
Yeah, that's clearly a broken nose right there.
All right, so we get to the track. The dad's there. The coach is there. The coach is like, "Why did I take this gig?"
Why am I banging his mom?
Yeah, it's obvious that.
Why did I wait till the state track meet to get him to run?
It's like, all right, you're ready now. And
why did I take a roster spot away from someone who probably deserved to be here?
And what state is this? Where is this state track run at? This looks like a middle school track.
I mean, it looks like it's in like it's got to be filmed in California.
They're like a Class D school.
Like in Michigan, you get to the state finals. They run at like a college somewhere big, you know.
I remember state finals. Like it was Michigan State.
Yeah,
finals, I think.
All right, so
it's like state finals. Like this is at his high school track meet. Is the state finals.
So we're at the 2:56 mark. You know, we're at the final quarter of this video, and guess what happens? I kind of hinted at it earlier, John. More arson.
Arson from Garth.
So he already burned down the school because it was corrupt. So now he's like, you know what else is corrupt? This GD track team. So he's like, I'm gonna burn down this tower. I'm going to burn down the stands. I guess Marshall's the Mustangs because he burned down the banner that said "Go Mustangs."
Go Mustangs.
I'm guessing this. Yeah, but these stands that he's burning down, this is way bigger than the track stands. Looking back, the track stands are 5 rows deep. It looks like he's burning down the football field now.
Carl,
yeah.
It's okay because he makes the kids' moms thunder roll.
Oh.
Yeah. And he obviously doesn't go to prison because he's got friends in low places.
Yeah.
And he's not a rapper.
But listen, that tower needed to go. Unnecessary. And it looked very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yeah, it's like that tower should have been there in the first place.
So we see the tower.
It's rough watching a tower fall.
The tower go down around the 309 mark. Garth continues to play.
Like nothing's going on.
The kid's face gets bloodier somehow, even though he was just laying down. The dad forces him to go up to finish the race, and then we see the
You gotta do it, bud. You gotta do it. You gotta finish. Don't touch him. Let him finish.
We see the coach. He just looks annoyed by the situation, right, John?
Yeah, so it'd be like, well, he fell down. Looks like
maybe the coach
like
is
the
burning
race
everything
over.
down.
He's like, well, there goes. We can't win now, you know.
The last time I saw that amount of fake enthusiasm was the kid's mom.
Yeah. You can do it, yay!
The coach is probably pissed. You know, his players, they practice in sweatpants. No one can jump over a 2.5 foot thing. He hates this gig. He's looking for a transfer to some sort of school that takes track and field serious.
He's trying to make chicken tetrazzini using ramen, Carl. It's not going to happen.
And the dad and the mom's helping this guy finish the race, and other people in the background don't even seem to care. Look at that team in red. Their backs are turned. They're like, what is this? You know, they want to wait. They're just pissed off that the next race hasn't started yet, you know?
Yeah.
So, the kid finishes the race. Cool,
No blood.
Cool running style.
No
and
blood.
I guess the mom ran ahead because she was there waiting for him with open arms.
Yeah.
Right.
You finished, yay!
Very creative, you, Carl.
So we go to the last 10 seconds, and one of my favorite things John Hill put in his notes was, did a last place finish just save a marriage? John, I think you're right.
I mean, that's like in the beginning of the video, they were fighting with each other and everything, and the dad's pissed off and so angry, and it's like, yay, the kid broke his nose, so they have to go to the hospital after this track meet, but they're just happy that he finished, and so is the marriage saved?
So Clifford Geertz would say this is an apocalypse moment, which means it's this exciting moment. Unfortunately, when you base a relationship on exciting moments, they fail.
So that's the deep, deep breakdown of the music video John Hill showed me in 2009. John, what year did that video come out?
I think it came out in 93, I believe, 92 or 93.
That makes sense.
I have my entire life I've spent not seeing this in the Titanic. I have now seen this.
Yeah. All right, so before we finish this off, John, we have one last matchup. No one used a veto. That's never happened. No upsets were picked. That never happened. You have just the 1 and the 2 seed left. We have the classic Santa Claus versus Buddy the Elf, who is not classic, but He comes from the best Christmas movie. We talked about that last week, Tim. Elf is the best Christmas
It is the
movie.
best.
So, man, it's old school versus new school, John, and it's your world. Who do you got? Either one is fine with me.
Here, but I am totally going old school. It's got to be Santa Claus all the way. It's like he, like I said, he just brings so much joy to everybody. Only has to work one night a year. Just brings happiness everywhere, and he is beloved by everyone around the world.
Man,
It's tough, but it's tough to choose either one. But I have to give the edge to Santa.
what a show. We talked about NASA, Christmas characters, Bryce Harper, standing outside the fire, 6C, John Hill. We didn't do the prank call challenge, but that's okay with me. I think you're a great guest, and Tim has the responsibility of saying if you're in the Throne of Awesome or not. Is he worthy of the Throne of Awesome? Cue the sound effect.
Well, Carl, at the beginning of the episode, I had the probability of him being in the Throne of Awesome at 0.01%.
Why?
Well, there was no prank call.
Oh.
But after the 8-1, that solidified him as the resident of the Throne of Awesome.
Congratulations, John.
Yes.
At the end of January, whoever's in the throne gets $40 sent from Venmo. $40.
Good lord, Carl.
$40. That's a lot of money.
That's how much I care about this show. You have just dethroned Rob Daniel, the guy who called the Chinese restaurant asking for a poo-poo-pee platter. That's big.
Are we talking about Real Sex 16?
Yeah.
Wow.
You gotta listen to that show, John Hill. So, Tim, any last words?
No, Carl.
So next week will be our Christmas episode. Guest TBD.
What?
I hope you're here, Tim. John Hill, thank you for joining us once again.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
We'll have you on again. You're going to be one of the recurring guests because you're a natural at this. You know, true story. My first ever podcast in spring of 2011 was with John Hill.
What?
We started this whole podcast thing together. Can you believe that? Anyways, so for John Hill and Tim Anderson, I'm Carl Glad. We'll talk to you next time for episode 12, the Christmas episode. See you. Hit it, Nick.
Standing outside the fire. Standing outside the fire. Life is not tried, it is merely survived if you're standing outside the fire. Standing outside.